And today I'll be talking about 5 reasons why people quit their podcast shows or online talk radio.
Watch this.
First of all, let me thank the more than 100 people who decided to subscribe to my YouTube page. You guys absolutely rock. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're going to be talking about some wonderful things on this YouTube channel. I am sure you'll have fun and you'll learn something along the way. Subscribe below. So what's the purpose of me doing these videos? So I started out my online talk radio show about 6 years ago. And when I did, there was absolutely no one out there or nothing out there to give me a guideline on how to make this better, how to grow this show into a platform that I thought was viable and that would have listeners. So I want to do these sets of videos for you guys who are online radio talk show hosts or podcasters, and bloggers, so that we can together grow our businesses and become a more viable asset for our listenership. So we're going to be talking about principles, ideologies, concepts, and drawing blueprints on how to grow this. I started my show 6 years ago. And when I started, there was absolutely nothing out there that I knew that I could lean on a week-to-week basis on how to grow my business. So I fell into a number of potholes and road bumps along the way. I did discover a few people that reached out to me who gave me some great advice along the way, and that advice is invaluable. And to this day, I have some of those contacts. But by and large, there was nothing out there. So I want to do these videos as my way of giving back of all the lessons that have been taught to me and that I've learned myself. Today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think people quit their online talk radio shows and podcasts. So the first reason people quit podcasts or online talk radio shows wasn't their passion. They treat it like it's a bucket list that they wanted to do or always wanted to do, and I don't know, hey, I know what I'll do. I'll start an online talk radio show. Yeah, that's what I want to do. When you do that, I promise you, you're not going to have the energy, you're not going to have the drive to continue along this path, go over all the road bumps that you're going to have to ride over, figure out how to make your business or this platform better. You're not going to have the energy to do it because you lack the passion. If this is something that you're doing because you saw someone else do it and you felt like you could do it better, or if this is something that you're doing because, why not? If you're doing your show based on something that you don't do in real life, for instance, you don't play sports, I think you'll do a real good sports show. Most of the time, those are going to be very bad reasons, and your show's probably going to last all of less than 6 months. And if your show lasts less than 6 months, there's no way it's going to be successful. So the number 2 reason why I think people shows are successful, you're trying to emulate another successful show you saw. If you try to duplicate a show that's out there already, that's been going for a while, and seems successful, if you're trying to emulate that show in any way, shape, or form, 9 times out of 10, your show is going to suck. The third reason why I think people will quit their shows or podcasts is because it didn't make $1 million in the first 6 weeks. So many people go into developing their own online talk radio show or podcast thinking they're going to get rich overnight. If that's what you're thinking, quit now. It's not going to happen. Listen, to make money in this business, anything that's relevant takes time. You've got to grow your base. You've got to figure out what your voice is in the first place. What you think the show is going to be about and what it turns out to be oftentimes are completely different and are opposite polar ends of what is reality. So allow time for your show to grow and stop thinking about the money. If you can't afford the cost to do the show in the first place, don't do the show. So the fourth reason why I think people will quit their show or podcast, this is my favorite, is, drum roll, it's all about the numbers. How many times have I heard, what was my numbers? How many listeners did I have? Did I mention how many listeners did I have? What's my numbers? Guys, listen, one of the best advice I got early on doing my own show was, forget the numbers. It will absolutely drive you crazy. You know, for the most part, there's not a lot of rhyme or reason about online radio numbers. It's not like terrestrial radio where you have a consistent drive time audience you can base your numbers off of. It's a cool matrix that those guys do that on. It's not the same with us. People listen to our shows sometimes live, but most of the time in podcast mode when we've actually aired our live show. And those of you who are in podcasts, you know that your shows are completely pre-recorded. So they listen to it when they can or when they want to or when they find it. So there's a lot of variables that go into what your numbers will be. But listen, guys, when I first started, the only people who listened to my show were not even my friends. It was like my mom and me in podcasts. That was it. Maybe my wife. So listen, forget about your numbers. Do your shows because you have something to say and you're passionate about it. If you do that and you stay the test of time, your numbers will grow. But if you're going to every week worry about what your numbers are, they're going to drive you batty. Because in one week you've got 1,000, the next week you've got 5. You're going to wonder, what in the world did I do to go from 1,000 to 5? Is this number 5 already? This is 5. Okay, well. So the number, do you say the number 5 reason, or do you say, you get my point. The next reason why I think people will quit their shows is because you can't commit to anything anyways. You know, so many people that I've seen come and go, you know, they quit everything in life, not just the show. They quit their New Year's resolutions after 2 weeks. They quit their relationships. They quit their jobs. They quit their dreams. So it would not surprise me that they cannot or will not sustain an online presence via online talk radio show or podcast. So commitment. You're willing to commit to this journey. And by the way, it is a journey. Doing your show is a huge journey. For me, it's been 6 years. And I've seen my show go from something that I thought I was going to talk about my concepts and things I like, to me highlighting others, to me having co-hosts, to me talking about a variety of things that I love and are passionate about. But I didn't see that at first. It was my commitment to do this show every week at that particular time that I chose, no matter what. I've done shows sick, depressed, pissed, hungry, tired. Doesn't matter. Your show has to go on. It's funny, when people see that you're committed to something, they tend to jump on board to that because they feel your passion. If you're going to be wishy-washy about your show, I'm too tired. I'm not going to do it this week. You know what? I want to go out to that party. Man, I would do my show, but there's a concert tonight. My show? Do you see how pretty it is outside? I would do my show, but I'm way too tired. I would do my show, but I got to take the garbage out today. So in conclusion, to do a positive, powerful, successful online talk radio show or podcast takes time, commitment, and passion. And if you aren't willing to do all 3 of those, I recommend you never get started. Just don't start. Just think about it. Just watch other people's shows. Watch my show. Hey, I'm done.